We are on St. Charles Road in Villa Park, Illinois. I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. In this clip for YouTube, we're going to look at the Chicago Norton Owners Bike Show at MCC. MCC is a motorcycle shop in Villa Park selling Triumph, MV Augusta, Ducati, KTM. We are going to look at some great vintage motorcycles, talk to a few of the owners, and then we're going to watch the trophy presentation. First, we're looking at this nice 1973 Norton Commando. Notice it has a disc front brake. Right next to it is a beautiful 72 Norton Commando, but it does not have a disc brake in the front. Now we're looking at a 75 850 Commando with an electric start. That's the electric start at the back of the timing cover. Next to that Norton, I believe this is a Norton Atlas, it would have been called, 1967. Very nice paint. It's got aftermarket straight up pipes. This is a 1954 EX2 500 single. A very nice Norton. Now we're looking at 1965 Triumph. This one says it's a one-owner bike, bought brand new in '65. The Bonneville twin carburetors. Nice, clean, looks like it rolled off the floor room at Midwest Triumph. Now we're going to T100C. This Triumph came with up pipes to give more ground clearance, and a lot of riders used it as a scrambler back in those days. This was one of your off-road motorcycles. Now we're looking at a '66 Triumph Bonneville. Very nice paint, a great looking bike. Twin carburetors, 650 twin. Over by the BSAs, we're looking at a scrambler also. This is a 650cc. This is a Firebird Scrambler. Like I said, this would be an off-road, on-road bike back in those days with the stock up pipes from the factory. We're now looking at a 71 BSA 650. This is when they went to the oil in the frame. They painted the frame off-white. They didn't sell very many of these BSAs. Now we're looking at a Gold Star. This was the hot motorcycle back in 1956, a 500 single, won many, many races for BSA. Established BSA as one of the hot bikes back in the 1950s. As we look towards the back section of the BSA, a good number of BSAs were spotting a 1955 Road Rocket A-10, and we had a chance to talk to the owner.
Richard Laidman. I have here a 1955 BSA Road Rocket A-10, 650 cc's. I bought the bike in '73 for $50 and put $3,000 of '70s money into rebuilding it. Somebody made a left in front of me in '79. It sat until 2003 rusting away outside in California, and that's when I decided to rebuild it. Took about 3 years to rebuild it. It's almost all 1955, at least the part that runs. There are some other bits and pieces that experts would notice might be from other bikes, other models, but I think they go well with the year choice. I did all the work myself in the rebuild, except for such things as machine shop rebuilding, cylinder boring. I didn't spoke the wheels, and I didn't paint it. times. In this last rebuild, I've got around 7,000 miles, so I'm thinking, I'm not sure which way to grade it, but I'm getting to be better, a better mechanic because it lasts thousands of miles.
Thank you, Richard. And now we're looking at two Harley-Davidson Sprints. I didn't catch the year on this one, but I believe it was built before 1967, looking at the head on this horizontal single-cylinder 250cc engine. This bike is a 1968 Harley-Davidson Sprint, and you can see now the head design may be different, but it's got the valve cover is different with fins, so it could run cooler. This also is a 250 1968. Right next to it, what a prize, AMF Harley-Davidson Sportster Cafe Racer. It is absolutely beautiful, and I had a chance to talk to the owner, one of the members of the Norton Owners Club.
At Jonas, West Chicago, Illinois. I'm the owner of this 1977 XLCR Harley AMF model, and I found it in Denver. I was on my way back from Alaska on a bike trip. I stopped to visit friends in Denver, and I was reading Rocky Mountain News, which in the 80s was a good newspaper for finding motorcycles. And there's an ad in there that says 1977 Harley Cafe Racer, new, for sale, $4,000. So I called again in the morning. He didn't answer. I hung around for about 2 or 3 hours. He finally got home. He says, calling about the Honda. I said, I'm calling about the Harley. I said, you still have it? He says, yes. I went and looked at it. I was sitting in the guy's dining room. He had 199 miles on it. And I gave him full price because he was willing to leave it sit for 5 weeks before he came back with a trailer. It's all original. I do have another tank for it, factory tank, repainted. And I've got a brand new old stock set of mufflers at home, a brand new old stock seat cover at home for it. Some of the wear items.
Right.
I tried to get a fairing and windscreen for it, but they're no longer available.
No, it looks great. It almost looks brand spanking new.
Let's do it yet.
Thank you, Matt. And now we're looking at Jon Herrera's Indian 1913. It's a single cylinder. John's got a twin cylinder, and it's got a clutch. It came out with a clutch in 1913. Right next to it, a 1948 Indian Chief. Absolutely beautiful, and I had a chance to talk to the owner.
Hi, my name's Rich Harck. I have a 1948 Indian Chief. It's mostly original. It's 8,000 miles.
So where'd you acquire something like this?
I found it on eBay.
Like in this condition or what?
I fixed a couple of things up on it, not that much. A little bit of touch up here and there, and I put a clutch in it and things like that. But, mostly, it's how I got it. Put exhaust on it too.
So this still has, is the throttle on the right or the left, or is the advance on the right?
Normally Indians have throttles on the left. That would mess me up pretty bad. So some of them came with throttles on the right. So it's somewhat standard, you know.
Because that was the big conflict back in those days between.
Yeah, well, they made it optional for the Harley riders to be able to buy an Indian, so it wouldn't mess them up, crossing them up with everything between the shifter and the throttle.
And it's got a foot clutch and
yeah,
750 or.
No, it's 1200.
1200. Okay. Flathead engine.
Yeah. Yeah, and this was kind of getting near the end of their production. This was the last year they made at their factory, and then the next few years afterward they made it at another location that they rented out. So it was getting near the end for Indian when mine was made. They still made them up to 53, but I think it was like 500 a year after this, so they were just about out of business by then.
Thank you, Rich. And now we got a chance to look at a few bikes in the competition division. This is a Bultaco Matrella, set up as a road racer, and a Bultaco Astro 250 dirt track bike. And I had a chance to talk to the owner of these two Bultacos, Dave Moore.
Hi, I'm Dave Moore. I'm here at the Chicago Norton Owners Club annual Vintage Bike Show. and I entered 2 of my own bikes in the show. They're not Nortons, they're Bultacos, which happens to be a favorite brand of mine. One of them is a short track bike, an Astro, and the other one is a road racer, which is really a converted street bike. The original model, the street bike, was a Matrala, but back in the day they were raced, and you could buy a kit, they called it Kit America, and convert the bikes to racing trim. It's something I always wanted done, and eventually had a chance to do it. I met up with Hugh at a vintage race at Peoria and brought him the bike. Actually, I have 2 of those. This is one of the 2 that I have. The one that I have here today is a 250 5-speed. The other one is a 200 4-speed, but they're both outfitted the same way. The other bike, the Astro, I bought after seeing it at a motorcycle sale up in Woodstock, Illinois. And the bike was actually raced by 2 brothers who lived in Sheridan, Illinois. I just love the look of the bike because I spent a lot of time back when Santa Fe Speedway was open going to watch short track races there. I also was fortunate in that Allen's Cycle Sales was right at the top of our street in Downers Grove for a while, and they sold Astros right off the showroom floor, ready to race at Santa Fe, and I'd been in there a number of times when I was growing up, and so I had a fondness for the bike beginning when I saw them there and at the racetrack.
Thank you, Dave. And I put my Triumph 750 on display also. I won the competition class in 2019. I raced this bike at Santa Fe for the TT racing, short track. You raced the 250 or a 360 for a while there. And now the trophy presentation, Jon Revilla is gonna hand out some trophies and we're gonna look at some wonderful motorcycles.
I'm going to ask you to come up here if your name's called. I'm going to call the class name, then I'm going to call the owner's name and the year and the model of the motorcycle. If we have a glitch and the year and model of the motorcycle is incorrect, please let me know. We'll correct it. But we went through our paperwork and did the best we can do. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to the 29th annual Chicago Norton Owners Club Vintage Motorcycle Show. It's actually been 30 years. We didn't have the show last year, obviously, because we couldn't. So I'm a little disappointed in the fact that we didn't have the 30, but at any rate, I want everybody to know we're glad you came out. The bikes are all beautiful. We got a great collection of people and motorcycles out here today. We're thankful. Yeah. You're supporting a not-for-profit group here, just so you know. First class, I'm going to call the American class. We had a number of very interesting, cool entries. They were all deserving. This is really true of every class. Third place, 1913, looks like completely unrestored Indian, which is my favorite bike actually here today. Jon Revilla. Right on your left.
Put the clipboard down a little bit.
Jack. Second place, Alex Gallagher. He's in our Norton Club, the 68 Sprint, the little Harley Sprint. I'm going to ask you guys to line up because we're going to get a group picture for each class. First place, class winner, Richard Harck, 1948 Indian. We all in the picture, Jack?
You ready? Is that the whole class? You're good.
Next class I'm going to call BMWs. This club has supported our show very well, tremendously over the years. We're thankful to have them here. Second place, 1959 BMW. I'm not sure what model it is. It's not on my list. CJ Steinbach. This lady's cool. She's been supporting us for a long time.
There you go.
Thank you.
First place in class in the BMW class, Nathan Hill for that gorgeous 1972 Toaster Tank R75.
Okay.
Next class we're going to call the BSA class. Always well supported, always good looking bikes. We had a really good looking 69 Firebird Scrambler. Josh Kanata. If I say your name wrong, just correct me in private, please.
Sorry about third place.
It's gone, Jack.
There is no third place.
Can I accept for him?
Yes, sir. There's 2 awards in this class. I should have said that. I'm sorry. The amount of awards we give out per class depends on the amount of entries, folks. First place, BSA class. This guy never gets any awards. Cliff Berger, that beautiful 56 Gold Star. That bike won Best of Show here at one time. And other shows in other states. Come on up here, we'll get a picture.
He's a ringer.
Competition class. We didn't have enough entries to warrant more than 1 award. So this bike is, they were all deserving. David Moore, 1968 Bultaco.
Yeah. That's a Metrala, correct?
The Metrala Road Racer, beautiful bike. This one's been here every number of years too. Custom class. We had several entries. Again, all of them are deserving of an award. People chose. We have 1 trophy, a first place trophy. Tony Knapp for the 71 Trine Bobber. Incidentally, a CNOC member. BJMC, that is Japanese Motorcycle Company, chapter of Chicago, has supported our show tremendously in recent years. And I can't say enough about these guys. They show up with a ton of beautiful bikes. The Japanese 400cc and under class was several entries. We're only giving out 1 award because we didn't get enough to support going further. This bike is pretty cool. I don't think anybody's going to disagree. Steve Smith, first place for the 75 Kawasaki 400 triple. Well, unfortunately, we're not set up to give out more than 3 awards in a class. The Japanese over 400cc class was our largest attended class at this show today. And there were, I couldn't tell you how many bikes. Every bike I saw over there was deserving of something. We're giving out 3 awards. This is a really special, unusual motorcycle. Third place goes to Patrick Shabert for the 83 CB 1100R. How do you say it? Okay. Second place, old buddy of mine. I think I built this seat. Bob Wall for the 68 400 CB 400 450 Black Bomber.
Hey, Bob. Thank you. There you go.
Thank you, Bob. Bob has been coming around our show since we started, pretty much. All right, Japanese over 400cc class winner, Norman Dang for that gorgeous CB 750, 1974.
Behind you. Oh, here you are. There he is. Here I am. Let's stand over here.
Get a picture for our newsletter. Being that we're a Norton Club and it's our show, I made a command decision to give out one more award than I should have based on the amount of entries. Some years I get 12, some years 6, some years 8. Make a long story short, we have 3 awards we're giving out in the Norton class this year. The prettiest P11 I've seen in a long time showed up here today. It's one of my members, one of my friends, Bart Perry, 3rd place in the Norton class for that 67 Norton.
There you are, bud.
Another CNOC member, one of our stalwarts from decades ago, Tim Smith, 2nd place with that Norton ES. Hello.
There you go, sir. Well, thank you very much. Nice leg. You're welcome. The fix was in.
1st place goes to a bike that I didn't even know this man owned. He's also a Norton Club member, that a friend of mine, that is gorgeous. Bob Boucher for that silver 72 Commando Roadster. Is Bob here?
Yeah, he's over here to the right. He's coming. Yeah, but does the bike run?
I'm going to guess so. It was a good pastor.
There you are. Congratulations, Bob. Get over here and get your
Did you guys get lined up for a picture here for me? 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Bart, you're 3rd.
You're a turn, Bart. Bart, you're a turn.
Yeah, I don't know if we should allow Bart in the picture either.
He's too tall. He's too tall.
Ready, guys?
Triumph 750s. I'm giving out 1 award. Ed, I didn't get your last name for some reason. Fred. The paperwork, apparently the guys couldn't read it. I'm sorry about that. For the 1966 T120 Bonneville.
76.
Oh, they put 60s Well, thank you.
It's yours anyway. All right. Thanks. I'll fix it.
Vintage Scooter. We've had a number of entries in this class at some years. This year we had 1, so we're giving out 1 award, deservingly. Tom Woljan for a 63 Vespa, a little red one right here. Looks to me to be totally original.
New York.
One of a kind.
I had to move it a couple times. Hold your plaque up. Called All Other British. Just so I can explain to everyone, we can't have a class for every brand, every manufacturer on the planet over years. All Other British encompasses is pretty much anything that was built in Britain that wasn't a Norton or a Triumph. It generally becomes Ariels, Vincent's, or BSA, excuse me. Make a long story short, we had several gorgeous entries. We're giving out 1 award in that class today. One of our members, my friend, Fred Lake, for that 48 Ariel. Fred has a number of gorgeous Ariels. European classes have been supported pretty well by the various clubs and members and owners. Again, we have a class called All Other European because I cannot have a class for every single make and model on the planet. As you know, the BMWs and a few of them have their own, but the All Other European today, we had not a great number of entries. We're giving out 1 award. This gentleman had another bike win earlier. Patrick Chabert. It's a 1950 I'm not sure how to say this. Yeah, very unusual. That was cool. We have a class called All Other Triumphs, which was supported pretty well today. Not as many entries as I would have liked. We're giving out 1 award. This bike is gorgeous. One of my members had this bike restored and owned it for years. Greg Mellinger, that owns MCC, owns this motorcycle and put it on show today for that beautiful 1965 Triumph. Where's Greg?
Wow.
Fred Lake, the 1948 Ariel.
Very much. Unexpected.
Out spending the day here with us. Enjoy your afternoon.
So tell me about the bike.
We'll see you next year.
48 Ariel Square 4, built by my father originally, Mark Lake.
Best in show was the Ariel 4 Square. The Ariel 4 Square is 4 vertical cylinders in a square, a very powerful motorcycle. For more information on the Norton Owners Club, it's cnoc.org, cnoc.org. For more information on Motorcycle Center, MCC, give them a call at 630-782-2010. It's teamncc.com, and they're in Villa Park, Illinois. To contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. And remember, you can always search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action. And I highly encourage you to visit the World of Motorcycle Museum. It is in Winnemac, Indiana, just off of Indiana 39, 4 miles south of North Judson. Give them a call first at 574-896-3172. It's a great collection of motorcycles and a great trip.